Lots of red on this forecast.
Yeah, and it's just one of those days where it's significant really over the course of the next few days, as we're talking about significant heat and humidity really over the course of the next few days, right? And so that's really our main story as we talk about this heat and humidity. And we look at the big picture, there are a couple of things that I want to share with you right now. And of course, one of them being the fact that it's very hot and it's very humid. And we're going to continue to see this trend. Now, when you look outside, our biggest problem is we have heat alerts through at least Thursday. Now, one of the things about these heat alerts is they typically will let them go to a certain amount, and they're through Thursday. I would bet they're going to be extended, and that's one of the things that we're really going to look at here over the course of the next few days as significant heat and humidity are persistent throughout the entire region. Now, as we look at this heat and humidity and really where we should be this time of the year, our biggest story is the fact that it is not going to, we just don't get any breaks in the morning. You know, we just do not get any breaks, and when we combine the two, when we're looking outside, as you can see, there's hardly a cloud in the sky. That is a big story for us here as we look outside here, even in Chesterfield, for a good example, off to the west and southwest. Not a cloud in the sky, and our heat alerts continue through Thursday. Now, there's an extreme heat warning, there's a heat advisory. Depends on where you are. If you're in the city, it doesn't drop as much overnight. We get a little more of a break outside. That's why to me, that's a little semantics. It's hot and humid for everybody. It's just a matter of how hot. Now through July 5th, I don't think there's going to be much of a difference. Each afternoon, it's 100 to 110 each afternoon. Hydrating, taking breaks, using AC, those are all obviously good tips. We know that, but it's a matter of, you know, you got to stay ahead of it. If you haven't drank enough water before you get outside, you're already losing. And that's just the thing. You sweat it out faster, but your body doesn't cool off the same with sweat when it's this humid. That's the main difference. We're at 81 right now. Big picture shows that everywhere is hot and humid, and we're going to continue to stay this way because our dew points are in the mid to upper 70s. Anything at over 70 is humid. When we get over 75, it's up here. It's about as bad as it gets. Scott Air Force Base 78, 75, Farmington. This is very humid. When you combine the two, it feels like 86 degrees in the city. Some spots like Scott Air Force Base at 87, 89 in Salem on the Missouri side. Heat and humidity persist. We look downtown on Market Street. Off to the east, it's also hot. A south breeze at 10 miles an hour. That's why it feels like 86 at the airport. That means it's adding 5 degrees to the air temperature right now, and over the course of the next few days, that's going to be the case. I think this is what it feels like this afternoon. Temperatures are feeling like they're at about 105 to 110 degrees just this afternoon. So when you look at this from an hourly standpoint, mid-80s, we go from 90 to 91 at noon, low 90s by this afternoon. We're at 93, and then 95 feels like 107. I mean, we could really feel very, very hot over the course of the next few days. Now, here's what's in store for us. I'm going to point this out as this heat dome continues to build. One thing I want to point out as I just kind of let this run over the course of the next few days. This is where this high pressure is, if it lets me do it, and it doesn't really want to let me do it, but we'll pause it here. Now I think it should let me do it. Maybe it doesn't want to, but this is where we're looking at this high pressure, right? So as we have this high pressure, things move in this around this clockwise fashion. So what you're seeing here is wind direction coming up this way, right? So what it's doing is drawing in all that Gulf moisture. That's important because that brings the humidity plus the heat. So not only is the heat providing sinking air, it also drives up all that moisture from the Gulf. That's why it feels so hot and humid at the same time. So with our readings feeling like they're 105, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, it's Thursday. See, I just hit the button and it goes the next day every time. So that's why we're going to have this problem every single day over the next 7, where you're looking at temps in the mid to upper 90s and mid to upper 70s overnight, close to 80 degrees. We don't get to 100 because of how humid it is, so really it doesn't matter about that. It'll feel like it's over 100. That's where we have a weather impact alert. Sure, we can be hot this time of the year. That's fine. And when you look at this from a standpoint of the next few days, yeah, heat is okay in June and July. We expect that. You know, once we get to a certain point in July here, we're pretty close to it where our average high is 90 or, you know, every day, right? So 89, 90 every day. That's okay. But we're not there yet, and this is significant because the overnight hours are so significant. Now, I do think we see over the next few days a little bit of a break as we head into next week, but the weather impact alert continues. We will start to see chances for rain, but to me, one thing you'll notice is the overnight lows start to come down. That's going to be a big factor here for us over the course of the next few days. But until then, we really focus on the fact that it is in the mid to upper 90s each day. We're close to 100. We've got slight chances for rain. And really, over the course of the next few days, you're going to see hot and humid conditions persist with very little rain. We got a lot of moisture at the surface, rained a lot the last few days. It's all evaporated.